Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies, and my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and today I'm back for Throwback Friday and number 15. Crikey, it's going quick, isn't it? Right, so on today's video I have got two more choices for you. I'm not going big and not adding four, as these are the ones that I wasn't able to use last week, which is why the clothes are the same, because I'm recording this 15 minutes apart. So let's get on with video number one and I will tell you all about it when I get to the end and add in anything that I've missed. There's normally something, isn't there? So let's go and have a look at Whips, Bits and Chat volume 15.
This is the sample that I made using the new stitch tutorial that's about to go up. Now I think I have made a bit of a boo-boo in that one and not shown you what it looks like on the bottom once you've done the work. So what I'm going to do is just bring it up to the camera now and let you have a quick squiz. Right, so there we go. That's the stitch, and as you can see, hopefully if it will focus, you get a beautiful V stitch running along the bottom. So it means then it's easier if you want to put on an edging or a border of some sort. And also with that sample I just showed you, there is another cheeky stitch that I've got to do a bit of research actually, because I'm not 100% sure if it's what it was meant to be when I did it. I'll have to explain that to you later really, but I might as well do it now. I was trying to do one type of stitch that I remembered seeing probably 3 or 4 months ago, which is why it's kicked into my head, but I'm not 100% sure if I've placed the hook where I'm meant to have placed it, which means I might have created a new stitch, but probably not. But it'd be well cool if I had. More breaking news. As you all know, I love a deal, and yet again I've not been let down. So Good Vibes Yarns, they have got the 900 gram clearance box of yarns, mixed weight, colour and fibres, and they've got it in for 11 quid. 11 quid. Now I've already put my order in. I've got myself 2 coming, but they are on limited stock, so once they're gone, they're gone. Now they've also at the moment also got in some plain colour DK yarns, so it's the same colours that are in the cakes, but 100 grams of just one colour, and I think they were up at 150. I'll just check. I was close. It's £1.55, but it's sorry, I'm just going to read. Papaya Love, and it's 100 grams, 100% acrylic, Mandela solid colour wool ball. So they've got quite a nice choice of colour ranges. She's tried her hardest, bless her, and she's got the rainbow. So get over, have a look. I will pop the link in the description box below. Update on my Audi order. It's out for dispatch now. They've finally sent it out, but they've gone and sent it out with Hermes, which are pretty slow round here to get the parcels from one place to another. My Hermes driver, bless him, we know him by name. He's a lovely guy. As soon as he gets anything, he's straight round, so it's not like he withholds them. It's just Hermes take their time to transport from one place to the next. I'm hoping that it doesn't come today, because I'm not going to be here. I'm actually going to see my dad, because it's his it was his birthday, so this is the first chance we've had to actually get out, because all the families have been shielding for the duration, and now where they are, they're allowed to have a couple of families round as long as we sit in the garden. So me and my lot will be travelling down, masked, gelled and all the rest of it, and when we get there we'll be straight in the garden and just stay there. But we're only doing a turnaround, so turn around, I like have a cup of tea, say happy birthday, chuck presents at him, jump in the car and come home again. So I'm really hoping that the Hermes driver's not working tomorrow and he won't be shipped out until Monday. Then I can just turn around and say to my husband, it's my birthday present. A little bit early, but hey. Right, Right, as most of you know, I've already sent out my Christmas in July Fairies prize winners parcels and packages. Now, I've mentioned to Mama Swift, congratulations by the way, darling. I mentioned to her that there was a funny story at the post office involving her prize. So she was like, go on then, tell us what it is. So I thought, okay, I might as well pop it on this video now for you all to hear. Right, so I'm getting comfy. Right, so popped up to the post office, and the lass that's working behind the counter has known me for far too many years. Now she knows how tight I am when it comes to sending anything out. I don't want to pay top dollar for something that I can get a lot cheaper. So of course my first present's gone through, and that was luckily for somebody in the UK. So she's gone to me, right, how do you want it? Do you want it recorded first, most expensive? Do you want it just first, bit cheaper? Or she goes, second class, because I know how tight you are. I've gone, yeah, go on then, second class it. I said, what's the turnaround time? She's gone, oh, about 3 to 4 days. I thought, well, if that's over a weekend, bonus. So of course that one's gone through, and I'm all happy with that. And then it comes to the one that's going to America. And I'm standing there and I'm like, here you go, darling. She's gone, oh, he's going to America? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I need to know what's in it. Which they ask all the time, don't they? Oh, what's in it? Is there any sharps? Is this safe? This, that, the other. I said, it's Christmas card. She went, you what? I went, well, it's a Christmas card and a little present. She's looking at me really, really strangely, and she's gone, and you're only in July, darling. I said, yeah, well, her postal service is having a right tap time at the moment, trying to get stuff on aeroplanes, I said, and getting it shipped out. I said, no aeroplanes equals more expensive post for me, doesn't it? And I'm there tapping my fingers on like the side of the counter, and she's gone, oh gosh, here we go. Right, okay then. And she's like, right, for them top dollar, we can get it to you guaranteed within, I think it was 14 to 21 days. I'm like, 41 to 21 days guaranteed? You're taking the mickey, aren't you? And she's like, well, we can do that one, and that's going to cost you XYZ. And I looked at her, I said, I don't need to remortgage my house, thanks, babe. So she's like, right, okay, let's go a bit lower. So she works it all out, and she goes, right, I can get the postage for you out to just under £5. So I'm like, well, okay, that's not too bad at all. She goes, but there is another option. And I'm like, another option? She's gone, yeah, well, as you've said, we're having issues with the planes. Why don't you stick it on the slow boat past China? She's gone, we can send it out that way. It might take 2 to 3 months, but you've got plenty of time before Christmas. I tell you what, Mama Swift, I was really, really tempted. But then I thought, no, I can't do that. That's just too evil. But it was just like, let's send it on a slow boat out with all these other packages. It'll probably never turn up. Or it'll get as far as China and then fill up and come back with all the June orders that we're all making. Sorry. I shouldn't be giggling, but that was just the way that my head was on that particular day. Don't worry, Mama Swift, I didn't put it on the boat to China, or past China I should say. I went for the cheaper aeroplane version, but again, she's still saying it could be to you within 14 days. So fingers crossed it gets to you pretty quick, because it is only small, mind. Right, so as far as whips are concerned, I've still got the gold vest that's in blue. It's turned into a UFO TW. In other words, utterly flying out the window. I'm only playing. No, it's just sitting there collecting dust for the time being. I'll get back to it at some point. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying sitting in a relatively cool room, kicking out the videos for you guys, because the temperature outside today is kicking on 34 with no wind, which is 90 plus for you guys that are in Fahrenheit, isn't it, over in America. We've gone from being really low to wearing jumpers to wishing we could walk around in our bikinis. Scary.
Right, so Mama Swift did get that package at really nice speed actually, and she opened it amongst all of the other ones. I think it's video 2 or video 3 of her set, I cannot quite remember. And at the time of recording this, and I'll double check before I put it out and make sure it's still accurate, and Good Vibe Yarns still have the Papaya Solid range for £1.55, and they've got mystery boxes in. Now she's doing them a little bit different. You've got 2 choices of mystery boxes. One of them starts from £11 and then goes up depending on the weight and what you choose to go in the box. Oh, it was so nice seeing Dad and Mum, I should really say, seeing the pair of them. It was really lovely spending that hour or so with them, and it was definitely worth it, and we were all safe. And when we got back, we were all clear as well, so there was no worry about transmitting anything between families. It's been nearly a year since I've had a mum and dad hug. Oh, roll on a few months time when we know we'll be safe to go back down again. Right, and the next video up is a Whips and Bits volume number 14. Right, so I have actually taken a chunk out of the front and bits and pieces throughout these 2 videos, and the reason I've done that is to bring down the time, because some of the stuff may not be of interest anymore. So on this next video I have actually taken out the first chunk of breaking news, which happened to be for Australia and America, but I've left in the bit that the video is about to start with because it still applies to everyone. So have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you at the other end.
Now, for everyone else that's not been included in this, if you see any really cool deals that you'd be happy to share out with the rest of us, pop onto my Facebook group. There's the link in the description box below, and there's a whole section there that sort of says about discount yarn. You put the message in there, and if I'm able to use it and shout it out, I'll shout it out, and I might even pop your name up if you're happy for me to go, oh, so and so said. Alright, so on to the next item. As some of you know, my neighbour brought me around a load of charity shop books that she'd found. Now there was one item that I really desperately wanted to make, which was in this Simply Stylish crochet. Now I have started making it, but I have a big fat problem. That's the design I'm doing. Have any of you made this one? Because it's in English terms, I'm having to translate it over, and my dyslexic brain is going, what on earth, help, oh my gosh. So I've managed to write it out in American terms so that I can follow it easily, but I noticed on the first section there was a typo, and I noticed that because I was really lucky and I was able to use the corresponding chart that's there to double check what the written word was saying. So I found it easier working with that chart in the end. Now there isn't a chart for the rows, was it rows 20 onward, not 20, sorry, row 16 onwards. There's not a chart like that. Now there's no stitch count at the end either for you to go back and check to make sure you've got it correct. So I'm now sitting at row 20, pulling my hair out, going, nothing adds up, because my repeats within the round are about 3 or 4 repeats short. Now the repeat on the round covers about 6 or 7 stitches easy, so as you can imagine that should be a massive chunk that I missed. So I've gone back 2 rows, I've gone back 3 rows, and even then I can't work it out. So if any of you have made it and can say to me, look, this is where you're going wrong, I would really appreciate it. Stick a message down the bottom, or again pop onto the Facebook group and message me on there, or stick a post up on there saying, oi, you're dopey. Yes, that would be absolutely brilliant. So due to that pattern, which is actually the one sitting here in blue, due to that absolutely frying my brain went on turbo shutdown, and it's like, no, I'm not playing, I'm not making nothing. So I was like, right, I'm just going to do a chain, I'm going to do a simple scarf backwards and forwards. When it came to joining in the like starting the first row of stitches from the chain, my brain went, nah, forget that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, come on, you've been doing this for donkeys, you know how to do it. Why isn't your brain and your hands working as a team? So in the end, I sat there and I'm like, hold on, I've read somewhere about a technique where you can do the chain and the first row at the same time. So I looked it up. It's true. And I did it. And even though my brain was like, what are you doing? All of a sudden it went from struggling for the first 5 or 6 stitches to knocking out a chain of over 200. Now I only needed 200, so I ended up stripping back about 40. But it was so much easier to do than the chain plus a row. So if you'd be interested in either the link to that or me knocking up a quick video, I'm happy to do it. Right, so last bit of info I can give you for this week is that I am waiting on my Aldi yarn order. Yeah, I did it. I was naughty. I've ordered a couple of bits from there. I don't want to spoil it for you, so when it arrives, which it says should be within 5 days of the start date of the event, so I've got about another 2 or 3 days left. So when it arrives, I'll get a video out to you as soon as possible with all those bits in. Now I did also go in store. I wanted to double check that they didn't have any other yarns on that they weren't advertising. Well, my local store didn't have any yarn at all. Didn't have any of the kits. Didn't even have the advertised yarn. Now, the lass on the till messaged through to her manager that his store didn't receive any yarn, and he didn't know whether they were going to either. Now they had a lot of empty bins, and it appears that there was no craft items that turned up in that store. Now normally our manager in our store is an absolute dream. He makes sure that he can get as much of everything that's needed. He really is a forward thinker. When we had localised flooding earlier on in the year, his store was the only one that you could still get the basics from. When we had the toilet roll shortage, I'll just put it like that, his store was pretty much the first store that stopped people bulk buying it. You were only allowed to pick up a certain amount, and he'd done that from prior to lockdown, prior to everybody running in and grabbing anything they could. He had ordered extra to cover the community, so it's not like he's sort of saying to me, no, I just didn't fancy covering it. It was the fact that he couldn't cover it. Right, I'm also waiting on some stuff from June. I'd put in an order for some more scissors because I'm fed up with using my kitchen ones on my yarn, so I was like, right, I'm going to get a couple of pairs, so at least then hopefully I won't lose them as quickly. There's also some other bits and pieces as well that are coming through from them, so I'm just going to stockpile them, and then once I've got them I'll do you a video there showing you all the new ones, and I'm hoping that the names on these ones aren't as bad as the ones from last time.
And you know what, even though that video went up in what, July, I'm still actually looking for help for that top because I haven't finished it. I haven't picked it back up. Oh dear. And I'm definitely not wasting all that work. But that's a problem for another day, isn't it? Right, the video for that stitch I was talking about, it's not quite the chainless double crochet foundation. There is a little tweak to it, and that is a video number #8, which is Crazy's quick cheek blanket using the Crazy Don't Do Doo-Doo stitch. Okay, that is definitely not what the stitch is called. It has got a proper name, and I believe I've put that in the description box. But as I said, it was me attempting to do a stitch from memory. It didn't quite work out as it was meant to, but it means that it's given us another really nice method of making blankets. And also remember, it really would help me out and the channel and all the other crazies if you do come across a deal, doesn't matter what the country, please send me an email or pop it in the Facebook group, and then I'm able to shout it out on a Whips and Bits on a Sunday and it means we can all have a bit of yarny fun. Right, I'm going to head off now. Made the video a bit short this week, haven't I? So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. There'll be another one along next week. So I will see you all really, really soon. If you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now.